Do you get really nervous before a race or a tough workout? Are you stressed at the end of the day? Well, I'm going to show you a simple technique that will help you with both, that will reduce stress in less than a minute, and you can do it anywhere. You train for weeks or months, and then you're so stressed the morning of the race that you're either in the bathroom line 3 times, or your breathing is so shallow and fast that you're not able to finish the swim, or you just don't have as fun of a race experience as you should have because it's just such a stressful experience. The answer is proper breathing to reduce stress, and that is diaphragmatic breathing, or you could call it deep belly breathing. The diaphragm is the primary muscle of respiration, and before we go on to the details of why it's important, the benefits, and how to do it properly, hit the red subscribe button so you don't miss a weekly video. I'm Coach Eric, and each video is going to have really mistakes that I've made along the way and how to basically make you a better triathlete. And this is, again, one of those things where I didn't really focus on my breathing for years. None of us usually do. We end up doing a lot of chest breathing or shallow breathing, which you don't get the benefits of the diaphragmatic breathing. Now, not only do I do this before races to reduce anxiety, and by the way, when we talk about this, it doesn't have to be some formal thing. I mean, I've done this in the porta-john line. I've done this I found a corner of transition. I've done this in my car when it was a small race and it was raining. You can do this really anywhere and it doesn't take that long. And it really helps that pre-race jitters to calm you down. It also helps in terms of a daily basis. I do this now every single morning as part of my morning transition from sleeping to starting my day. I'll put a link in the upper right, I think, is that side as far as my morning routine if you want to check that out. So on to the benefits. So breathing properly using the diaphragm not only can calm pre-race nerves, but it helps sharpen your focus. It can lower your heart rate, reduces muscle tension. It reduces how much the stress hormone cortisol is reduced into the blood. Again, if you're using this over time, it helps regulate blood pressure and other basic functions to just help you with less stress through each and every day. Life's always going to throw stressors at you, but doing this breathing actually helps you to navigate that throughout each day. You might be saying to yourself, but breathing is automatic. Why do I have to do this? And that's partially true if you've trained that diaphragm muscle to breathe appropriately. But just like anything else, if you're not using it and focusing on it, that muscle becomes weaker and you don't use it as much. If you don't believe me, trust the countless research out there. So you've got to bring your breathing into awareness once in a while to make sure you're doing it correctly. So if you haven't done this before, it's always easiest to go to a quiet place, sit in a comfortable chair, feet on the floor, sit relaxed, put one hand on your chest and one hand just below it, kind of on your stomach there, and you can, closing your eyes is optional, but really you're just going to focus on your breathing. So focus on inhaling slowly through your nose. We'll say count to 2 seconds, hold for a second, and then breathe out through your mouth for 4 seconds. And it's okay if other things pop into your mind, whatever, but just focus on that breathing, and that as you get that rate going, that'll help slow your breathing, get a nice rhythm going. Repeat this for 10 breaths, and when you do it, you should feel that lower hand that's on the stomach area start to rise and fall. It shouldn't just be the chest going up and down. That's the shallower breathing. Now, the chest can go up, but we also want the diaphragm. We want to fill more air in the diaphragm area for this to be beneficial. Another option, you could lay on your back on the floor with your knees bent so your feet are on the ground, and do it that way so you can actually watch sort of your stomach rise and fall as you do this as well. And 10 breaths takes like a minute. Don't tell me you don't have 1 minute for the psychological and physiological benefits that this will provide. I mean, you've been watching this video for longer than that. You could have been improving your breathing and reducing your stress. As you get good at this, you can actually do it longer. You could say, let's say, inhale for 3 seconds or even 4 seconds, but then you want to increase the amount you're exhaling. So if you inhaled for 4, then you want to exhale for 8 seconds. Okay, so a simple technique that most of us overlook, most of us don't do. Do it, especially the morning of a race. It'll really help calm those nerves. This really helps kind of lower and calm the system. And if it's before a race, you're excited, you're ready to go, it's not going to calm you down too much. It's going to calm you down from that unoptimal level down to the optimal range of arousal that you need to be in, and you're still going to be ready to race. And I really think you should do this in the morning. As soon as you wake up, before you check your phone, before you worry about anything, take a minute, or it is actually better if you do it longer than a minute. I mean, if you did it for 2 or 3 or 5 or even let's say 10 minutes. Most people don't have that much time. I don't actually do it for that long. I do it for a couple of minutes. But first, when you get up, lying on the floor, sitting in a chair, and focusing on your breathing will help prepare you for the stressors of the day, more so than just hitting that alarm, rolling out of bed, rushing to do something, checking your phone. Now you're worried about this email you got to send. You owe it to yourself. Start off with some relaxation, a few deep breaths, get that breathing going. And not only that, but you will improve your performance out there on the trails. All right, that's it. Simple technique, so you have no excuse for not doing it. Tell me how it works for you. Put a comment right now, and I'll see you next week.